This is day 43. I guess the thing I want to share with you today is something that came up in my conversation with my colleague. We meet every Wednesday morning on the phone to do our hour of support and affirmative prayer. And we started talking about the outer world that's happening in our country because I believe that the outer world is always a representation of the inner world. And that ultimately this is really a powerful and important purification time. Not to say that we should not be talking about what's happening, not to say that we shouldn't be concerned about what's happening. However, I also want to point out that we should be as concerned and as attentive to how what we are holding internally, individually, whether we're conscious of it or not, whether it's ours or our ancestors, is absolutely an outpicturing of what is happening collectively. The tough question is, what parts of Donald Trump are in me? Maybe you say none. Okay, maybe there's some, compassion and understanding because at some point you've been locked in survival mode, have felt backed into a corner, and wanted to get rid of everything and everyone that was going to reveal a truth that you had worked hard to conceal. So I think it's just important that we balance some of this with this important spiritual work that brings us inward. I mean, I look at the people surrounding Mr. Trump. I look at the representatives on all sides, all political parties, and I think, okay, well, when did I not stand up for truth? When did I stand up for truth? When did I not do the right thing because I was concerned for my own ego or what have you, or what people were going to say? When did I put my needs in front of the collective needs? When did I not take away the keys from the person who shouldn't be driving? So these are the things that we have an opportunity to check in first with ourselves, and yes, then certainly hold all these other people accountable to what is going on, because this is our country. This is our country. This is our democracy, and this is our government. And so we're watching something really profound happen, and history has a tendency to cycle itself, right? People talking about President Nixon and all the comparisons. And what is mine to do? It's like if you go to a party or you go to an event and you walk into the room and you feel the energy in the room is off. Like, you have a couple of options, right? The first thing you could do is walk out. I don't want to be a part of this. The other thing you could do is become the energy in the room. But the other option is that you can bring your energy to the room. You can be the presence of love. You can be the presence of harmony. You can be the light in the room. And so that's something I'm really working on today, is with my consciousness and with my thinking and the way I'm using my time on the internet, looking at the news and all of that. What am I bringing to the room that's filled with this chaos and confusion? What am I doing with my creative powers, with my creative word, with my creative thoughts to help usher in what we don't yet see, but we desperately want to see? Because I'm very sensitive to speaking about what's happening, because what's happening has already happened. It's already done. This is crazy making at its finest, but there's got to be enough of us that is also willing to turn away from the chaos and the drama and turn towards the greater truth that is seeking to emerge through this specific and historic time. The great Ernest Holmes used to say, we don't deny the broken leg, clearly it's broken. However, at some point, we have to turn away from the broken leg. We have to turn away from the conditions and turn towards a greater truth. And so if you find yourself to be of the spiritual nature, you understand that that means you have to turn away from the material world and turn towards the spiritual world, which comes first. And so here we are in the time of spring, and we're seeing how it works. I mean, we use the laws all the time. We're going out to the store, we're buying these packets. There's a clear picture of the thing on the packet that we want. Inside is the seed. Somehow, packed into the seed is the fullness of the flower. I have no idea how that is. My job is to pick what I want to grow. And what do? I take the seed, knowing that it's in the seed somehow. I stick it into the density of the cold, dark dirt, knowing that that's how it goes. That's where it's supposed to go, and that somehow everything in the soil is going to help that seed crack open, and that there are these laws that I can't see, the laws of growth, that are going to draw from that seed through the density of the dirt, the thing itself. Like, we don't see any of this, but that doesn't stop us from planting and expecting us getting exactly what it is that we planted. This is what's going on right now. We have to decide, how are we standing with this? What are we bringing into the room that clearly is filled with a lot of chaos and drama? I mean, the thing is that, Donald Trump is who he is. Anybody who thought that Donald Trump was going to show up in the White House a different person was kidding themselves. I mean, isn't this what people wanted? The very thing that he always has been? I mean, this is a man who fires people. This is a man who created a reality TV show over firing people, and we got off on it as a country. Are we getting off on it now? See, when we were watching it as on TV, we weren't necessarily affected by it. We were affected by it emotionally because we were seeing it as entertainment. But it's a different story now that it's happening in our country. It's a different story when the reality TV show person is the president of the United States. It's a different story when you take down people and fire them and it just affects your stockholders and your company and your employees than it does the entirety of a nation because you're the president of that nation. Okay? So let's make no mistake about it. Mr. Trump is doing the only thing he knows how to do, which is to protect himself and to protect his survival. And he has surrounded himself with people who are there to help him protect himself. And so what is ours to do? What is ours to do? One of the things Barack Obama said the other night when he was receiving the John F. Kennedy Award really stuck with me. And he was talking about how he has talked about that wonderful quote about the arch bending towards justice. But he said in that talk the other night that it doesn't bend on its own. That we're here to reach up and grab that arch. And with our own lives, with our own acts, with our own words, with our own efforts, to take hold of that arch and to bend it towards that which we desire. That's powerful. This is a powerful, powerful time. And so today, I'm realizing that one of the things I have to do for myself is I have to minister to myself. You've heard me talk a lot on these videos about how I don't know, I don't have clarity, I'm confused. And all of that has been a very real experience. However, today I wondered, is it? Or is it just a story? Is it just a story that I have identified with and consequently all of my senses and my mind tells me it's real? But what if it isn't? I mean, not to dismiss my experience within it, because that doesn't feel right. But I'm just sensitive to this idea of the story and my identification in it. Because as I was speaking to my colleague and doing prayer for him, I clearly heard a Camille that was tremendously clear. I heard a Camille that had tremendous clarity, that wasn't confused, that had a higher perspective. And that is within me. So I realized, oh, I am my own answer. I have to minister to myself. I have to love myself. I have to forgive myself. I have to be gentle to myself. I have to reach my arms out to myself and bring myself in for a hug. I have to reach my hand out to myself, the one that feels like it's drowning in quicksand, and pull